You in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Doug and Dick's Comedy Podcast. We are the spinoff of the web series The Two Dicks, which can be found on YouTube, seasons 1 and 2. The pandemic hit. We said, let's make a podcast, a comedy podcast, if you will. I'm Al Romas. Currently, I'm in Cozumel, Mexico, and that is Al Ducharme, Studio City. He's doing a lot of weird movements. I don't know what it is. Join the Patreon and find out for yourself. Otherwise, you'll just be listening and won't know what Al's being very silly. I think he may have. What's going on there, Alfred? How are you today? You all right?
I'm well.
Oh.
I'm broadcasting live from
Wacky Tobacco,
Studio City, California, and coincidentally, you are where my cousin Melvin lives. We call him Cousin Mel. Once again, that was take 2 of the podcast. It's called the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. We used to be the Two Dicks web series. We're having trouble with their name.
I think I just went over that.
You may have. You may have. You, in other words, you stomped on my joke like you normally do.
No, I just said the whole thing about Two Dicks and YouTube, and then you repeated it after the Cousin Mel joke. You tried to. I think you tried to save yourself. That was a good joke. Not bad. Not bad. For 30 seconds into the pod, Cousin Mel. Pretty good. Can't all be winners, you know?
As soon as you're unfrozen, we'll continue.
Said. Jesus.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
3 weeks.
I'm
3
kidding.
weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, everybody.
And you're off.
3 weeks, and I'm off the ship. I'm on land on the U.S. of A. I've been out of the country forever. I'll be broadcasting with state-of-the-art Wi-Fi, and this will just be done with this frozen bullshit. Can't take it. Slow. The Wi-Fi. It's fucking aggravating, man. You know what I mean?
Do you have the
Somebody
high speed?
sends you a picture. It takes 6 hours to high speed my ass. You know what I mean?
I don't know why you're waiting
here's a
6
picture,
hours.
6 hours later.
Yeah, a dick pic is not worth waiting 6 hours for.
Depends who it's from. I gotta be honest.
That is true.
I have a couple African American friends that they hook me up. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Worth it.
The
Those
myth
take
is
12
true.
hours.
The myth is true.
Yes. Yours took 6 hours. Theirs take 12.
We were discussing off air about Al is going to assassinate the first woman that he sees with his built-up sperm. Her head's going to explode like Abraham Lincoln from the balcony. It's going boom. So, ladies, be prepared. You're going to be like Spider-Man on acid. You're going to be like Spider-Man.
On acid?
I don't know. Nuclear-powered, poisoned Spider-Man. You're going to be spinning and
I don't know.
Spewing your webs.
Or I go the other way. My webs it just might be dust at this point. Dust in the wind. There's Kansas.
Oops. Kansas. Can we use that? How
Remember
much
Kansas?
would that cost? No, that would cost us $600. So we have to pass on that little
fuck that.
Song
They
from
suck.
the 70s.
They stink. That shows that band, one of those bands that I give them credit for having a career. They stink. 2 songs, neither are good. Violins and that's just garbage. I mean, it was
they
70s.
were lucky in the 70s to break through in the top 40 in the mid 70s.
Dust in the wind.
Dust in the wind. It was a big hit.
Ugh.
It was a top 10 hit.
It's horrible though.
It's
We're
not
all dust in the wind. I'm not.
No,
dust you're dust in the
it's
wind.
the type
Fuck
of song.
you.
If you hear it now, you'd be like, "Oh my God!" When I was 8 years old, I actually liked that song. Yeah. And you'd be like, well, you're 8 years old.
It's a buzzkill. You can't play it anywhere. Anywhere you play it, a party, anything, you would be like, oh, put this off, please. This song sucks.
It deflates
Dust. And what was the other one? What was their other hit? They had 2. You know, those bands always had 2 hits.
It was called Wind in the Dust, I think it was called.
No, come on, man. Come on.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Pull it, Alfred.
I can't pull it.
Dust in the Wind, Kansas, and
You're gonna make me look it up?
Get it? What was it? Dust in the Wind.
What were the 2 songs by Kansas that were popular in the 1970s?
Shit.
It's coming up.
Carry on, wayward son.
Carry on, wayward son. That just as it was coming up. Wow, you pulled
That
it, man.
song's worse. That song's even. I think that song might be worse. I think it's terrible. Carry on.
Yeah. Again,
Garbage.
Again,
Terrible.
as a young youth and just listening to music and thinking that you're cool, listening to music. No,
right.
Horrible.
It wasn't a good time.
What
wasn't a good time.
What about Toto?
We went from the 60s with that's what I'm saying. We went from the 60s with everybody.
Right.
And the 70s were weak. It was so weak.
No, there were some good ones.
You know?
There was a lot of crap that we thought we were
right.
being fed. It was
a
mainstream, a lot of garbage. Toto, the entire Toto thing. Rosanna.
Yuck.
I mean, it's just like, ugh, puke in my mouth. Puke
and
in my
they're good
mouth.
musicians, though. Those are good musicians who formed Toto. But the songs are not. Africa. I mean, really.
Ugh.
Africa.
Ugh.
Ugh. Ugh.
I sound like you. Ugh.
Hey, speaking of great music, though, who did we lose yesterday? We lost a legend.
We lost Charlie Watts from the Rolling
legend.
Stones. Incredible drummer. I mean, like, incredible. Like, if you're thinking of the top 5 to 10 drummers, Charlie's right in the mix. He's in the mix. He's right there.
And he's a jazz drummer who was the Stones drummer, but his real love was jazz, and his real love was playing like in a jazz club in a small little band and kind of quiety jazz. And yet he's the drummer for the Rolling Stones and did it forever and ever. And
turned them down
incredibly.
When they asked him to join the band when it was formed in 1962. Turned them down. Not gonna do it. No, gonna do it. Here's the thing. Here, you know
Amazing.
the story. JJ, you remember JJ Dynamite? JJ Jimmy Walker told the story.
Jimmy Walker. Yes.
Yeah, Jimmy Walker he's got great stories, and he'll tell it a lot better than me. I'll give the short version of it. We should
get him on.
We should get him on. Oh my goodness! Why don't we have him on here?
We can get Jimmy JJ Walker.
I have his phone number. I have his cell phone. He's texted me. He has texted me in the past. He sent me a dick pic.
That would be a great guest.
Huge dick pic.
Hey, now it took
what?
It took 18 hours. Dynamite. Mm-hmm.
His story was the boys were offered huge money to do like a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, a bunch of sponsors, tours. This is not too long ago. This is like 10 or 15 years ago. And they've had tons of money. Everybody's worth $100 million. And Charlie was checking out of the whole scene, the public scene, because he was recognized wherever he went. So he bought a castle on an island that you have to go through the countryside and then take a ferry to get to, or rent a helicopter and land it on the roof, but he wouldn't allow that. So in order to see him, he would turn off his phone. He didn't want to be connected to the world at all. He was off the grid. So in order to go see him, you had to do all that travel. So Mick and Richards head out because they want to tell him, hey, we're going to do another tour. A final tour. They've done like 7 final tours. So they go out there, they ring the bell, they lower the thing, they cross the moat, they go in. He goes, boys, I know why you're here. I ain't gonna do it. I'm fucking had enough. I'm done. It's over for me. We've done it all. We can't do any more. We've seen everything. We've had endless women. Can't do it. Charlie, it's going to be $14 million to each of us, all said and done after taxes. All right, when do we start? That was the gist.
What's amazing is, and it's a small world where you told that story on the podcast before.
Shut up!
Story.
Shut up!
Exact story.
So what?
So I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
But why are you doing that? That was podcast number 54, and he died. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go back into the archive, cut that out, and insert it here, and make my fucking day miserable?
I'd like a new Charlie Watts story.
A new one?
But,
all right.
No,
here's the new one. Listen, these girls, getting...
And with that... Yeah.
They're 25, 24 years old, and they still want to ride me cock. I can't do it. I got to take 2 blue pills in order to do it. All right,
This
1.5 pills.
Worst send off for a guy with worst obituary.
They call me Charlie
in
Cox.
podcast history.
Charlie Cox.
All right. Well, rest in peace.
I've got
Charlie.
a bigger cock than Jimmy J.J. Walker.
Oh, I don't think so. Well, the English supposedly they're packed.
Bad teeth and huge cocks.
That's what I hear.
That's why they have the Cockney
I don't know if
accent.
it's true or not. Why do they have bad teeth? What is that about? Is that the
It's
water?
the water.
What is going on?
Why the teeth? Elongate your
teeth. Why are they so?
You
rotten?
can drink filtered water and
no fluoride.
Have a small cock. Have a small cock and nice teeth.
Right.
Or you drink their water, unfiltered. You get the bad teeth and a huge cock. That's the way you go. That's the way you do.
This is very blue. This pod is very blue today. Very blue chew.
I didn't pick up on that.
Wow. Oh, yeah. All I wanted to say was Charlie Watts passed, and we feel bad, and it somehow evolved into lots of talk of cocks.
Well, it's called Talking Dicks.
That's true. I guess it is. Hey,
did I mention that one? Did I mention that one on the podcast from last year?
You might have. I don't know. We've done 144, so you never know. Now you're home. You're in the Los Angeles Studio City area, but you're flying out. What's going on there? Tell us. Tomorrow morning, you're flying to Florida. Are you going to the
Fort Lauderdale,
the great state of Florida?
The great state of Florida, as Tom Cotter says.
It's on fire right now.
The penis that is pissing on Cuba.
Right. And it's on fire. It's because
the Keys, the Florida Keys, looks like piss or sperm.
Yeah, we understand Tom's joke. Thank you. We all got Tom's
I
joke.
probably mentioned Tom's joke on this podcast. I think that was podcast 30, 34.
At least 11. Yes, 11 times.
I love that joke. I don't even do it.
It's a great joke.
He goes, it's his favorite state.
I like when you explain it, though. That's great. But yeah,
all
COVID,
right.
Everyone's got it in Florida, so be careful because literally everyone has it.
I have been tested.
I read online.
I've been tested 3 times.
It doesn't matter.
In the past 10 days.
Everyone has it.
And I was tested yesterday. It was a PCR test, which is anyways, yeah. I got the results. That's why I'm giddy. They came in negative. It actually said, it didn't say negative. It says no detection found. So I asked my sister, who's a tester, I said, does that mean inconclusive? She said, no. She goes, no, this is the best one you can get, the best test. And she goes, celebrate. Because as you know, my travels over the past 3 weeks have been, I'm double vaccinated with Moderna, and I have a negative PCR test. That means that I can get on the cruise ship without being held in 2 weeks and not getting paid. That means that I get a paycheck.
Well, you get half pay if you're in quarantine. At least on, Royal Caribbean. I don't know about the other lines, what they do. They get you half pay for quarantine.
Well, your agent
Good
sucks.
for you.
Mine's great. I get full pay. I get pay and a half.
You get pay and a half? Well,
yeah.
Well done.
Well,
and,
that would, of course, that's not true because then everybody would be like, come on, COVID. They'd be trying to get it,
Right.
I'm going to stay in my cabin.
So you're on 3 weeks? Is that the deal?
I'm going to do 3 weeks on the Equinox. Originally, I was scheduled for 1.
All right.
Somebody was removed or something. I don't know if they got another gig. I don't know if they lost their life. I don't know if they just said, I can't.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Doesn't matter. And then you'll go home and I'll get off the ship the same time, roughly. And
aren't you getting off the day after the day after I get on the Equinox? You're getting off the Adventure. Where are you getting off?
I'm getting off 18th. I'm getting off in my cabin, and then I'm walking off the ship on the 18th.
Try walking off your ship after that because it's like,
hey now.
It's going to be Jason Pollock. They're going to have to go in there with the hazmat team and just like Ghostbusters. Oh my goodness, we have stalactite semen.
Jesus.
Dude, what are you going to do?
I don't know if any of that's true.
Are you going to call up a girl that you were dating when you got off, or you're going to go straight to a hooker? What are you going to do?
Probably get a little man boy and take him to a seedy motel and go to town. You know.
I love your honesty.
Well, what am I going to do? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Go find a little $40 man boy, and
you're going to get some girl that you were dating is going to hear this podcast.
I wasn't dating anybody.
Oh,
I was all done. I was all.
Oh,
I was single as single can be.
You went into clampdown because you self-quarantined yourself because you were going on a ship for 6 months. So and then you quarantined
myself. It just you're making everything up.
I thought you were asking me about engagement rings. I didn't know what was happening.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's why you're the one I would go to. By the way, if I was going to get engaged, let me get Ducharme.
Let me get Ducharme on the line here.
Yeah, that'd be my first call.
A lot of sarcasm.
Al, what do you think about rings? Yeah. Hey,
I got the cock ring, so if you need, I have extra.
There you go. Exactly. That one I could get advice from you. That one I will call about if and when. Hey, on another topic, last pod, we were talking about Dustin Hoffman. Do you remember this?
We were, yes.
We were talking about Dustin Hoffman.
What
Dustin
Hoffman. Why? That's a Dustin
somehow
Hoffman.
Underrated, I think. Somehow, even though he's
agreed.
Hoffman, underrated. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I looked it up. I was looking up little Google, little whatever, IMDb, and his movies from 1973.
Why don't you go
60s,
go to 68?
Okay?
Do The Graduate. Start with it was 69.
No, this is after The Graduate.
After The Graduate.
Because we talked about The Graduate. We talked about Midnight Cowboy. He did Midnight Cowboy after The Graduate.
I'm walking.
Then
here.
after Midnight Cowboy, Straw Dogs.
Wow.
Straw Dogs.
Wow.
How great. How fucking, yeah.
I have to watch that again.
I don't know if people have seen that movie. If you're listening, watch Straw Dogs. That is a scary fucking movie.
It really is. I got to see that again. I'm going to make note.
Yeah.
Alexa,
that movie is so...
Remind me in 1 hour to watch Straw Dogs.
That movie is fucking intense. Just scary and great. But that's like, look at the movies this guy's picking. Graduate, Midnight Cowboy, Straw Dogs. So what does he do next after Straw Dogs?
Kramer versus Kramer?
Oh, he plays Lenny Bruce.
Wow, that's
plays
great.
Lenny Bruce.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Who does that?
He was his
who's
performance
playing Lenny Bruce?
That was a sad movie, obviously, but his performance was unbelievable. Amazing. He was so into the character.
And he memorized all those monologues, and he's doing, there's like, and Bob Fosse directs it, and it's like uncut. He's like doing these 5-6 minute monologues of Lenny Bruce verbatim. Incredible. And Valerie Perrine in there, not bad for 1976 or so.
Not bad.
Remember being a young man watching that movie.
Pause. Put it on pause. VHS. Put it on pause.
I don't even know if there was VHS then. It probably just started.
I remember
seeing Lenny.
You know what it is? You're a little older
on TV.
than I am. So all your stuff that you saw in the theater, I saw years later.
I didn't see it in the
VHS and
theater.
DVD.
I saw it on. No, it was TV.
Weren't you on set?
Channel 9 or whatever.
I thought you were on set as an extra.
I was an advisor. I used to hang with Lenny when we started together back in the Catskills, and then he got hooked on heroin, and I said I can't be involved in the drugs, so I walked away and went to the Adventure of the Seas. Okay, Lenny. Now, what does he do after Lenny? Look at this guy. This fucking guy's career.
Give me a year, because I know Kramer versus Kramer was 79, right? So
I don't have the years in front of me.
This is between 74 and 79.
Yeah. After Lenny, what does he do? Oh,
he does squeaky.
He
does squeaky.
Papillon.
Papillon with Steve McQueen.
Papillon.
Holy shit!
Who has a list of movies like this?
He got called out. He got called out from Me Too, because the girl on set was like 16 and he had her sit on her lap, and he was tickling her or something.
Who cares? You know what I mean? Leave him alone.
And he's like, what? He goes like,
Fucking
what?
Dustin
We're all a
Hoffman.
family. We joke around. We clown around. Here, you knuckle your head. And he didn't pull his dick out and smack her in the face in front of everybody.
He was one of those guys, though, back in the day. He did a lot of weird shit like that. But it was funny. Everyone did that shit. He thought it was funny, and people laughed. You know what I mean? But he was known for, he'll grab you. He'll do shit. Who cares?
There are guys that
he's 80 years old.
There were guys that would. This is what they would do. They would take their dick and put it on the edge of their pants so it looked like a belly mole. And they go, yeah, I got to get this mole removed. And people look at it and go, oh my God. And they go, yeah, poke it. It feels weird. And they poke it. And then someone go, is that the tip of your dick? Yeah. They go, you fucking asshole. And that was the end of it. Everybody laughed because he pulled a prank on both men and women. And it was, it's wrong. I get it. It's wrong, but it's fucking funny. But then you get to the person who's appalled by that. And then that's it.
Who cares?
You're canceled.
But when I was in junior high, we moved into a new school. I went to junior high, and a kid, the first day I was sitting at my desk, and some kid who I ended up becoming friends with eventually, he came over and he just unzipped his pants. He put his balls right on my desk. That was his greeting to the new kid. I'm just looking at his little 14-year-old balls on my desk, and it's like he doesn't say anything. He just has them there. And he's laughing, and his buddy's laughing, and I'm just supposed to. They're looking at my reaction, like, "What are you going to do, asshole?"
You weren't taught. You weren't taught anything to handle that situation. No, I've been on the receiving end of a lot of that. Oh. You know, someone grabbing the camera in your home and taking a picture of their ball sack, their scrotum. And then, a month later, 2 months later, you develop these pictures from your party. They go, oh, there's Ellen. Oh, there's Ray. Oh, there's a ball sack. It was just like, I know guys who have done that at weddings, but they have the little the cameras on the table, and all the guys.
I think I may have done that.
I know you have, because you were at my wedding.
Hey, now. I was not invited. Anyway,
those are like,
but think about these movies.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Think about these movies. Look at that list. I mean, so far. I'm being dead serious. Who has a roster like that?
And Hoffman,
who has a lineup
Hoffman was going up against those big, we mentioned in the last podcast, that he was going up against the heavies, Pacino's, De Niro's, and the Steve McQueen. He was going up against these guys who were, certified gold box office actors, and everybody wanted to work with him. And he came out a Jewish guy from Brooklyn, was he? Was from Brooklyn?
No, he's from California. He was from California.
He was from California. Okay.
That was what I was saying last time. Yeah, I thought he was from Brooklyn. He seems like a Brooklyn guy. But look at, if you go from Lenny, where he's a star, he's doing these long monologues, he's Lenny Bruce. Mm-hmm. And then his next movie, he's a co-star, McQueen's Papillon. Mm-hmm. But he's got a part, you can't even tell it's him. He's got those thick bottle glasses.
Shaved head.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. And yet you can't not watch him on screen. He's amazing. As that guy who is Papillon's buddy. And at the end, he's so insane now, he stays. Remember, Papillon's like, let's go.
He's like, jump off. No, he's like, I can't adjust. Yeah. Oh, you're frozen, dude. You are frozen. And now I will do a little monologue while Al is frozen. He'll be getting off the ship in 3 weeks. When he gets off the ship in 3 weeks, he's going to be hunting down a female partner. And he will show her his built-up sperm that he's had for the last 5 months. And it's going to be beautiful and ugly all at the same time. Well, he's going to have to sign off and sign back on. And he's not going to hear my little monologue that I did until tomorrow when this is uploaded. I think we're going to take a little break, get him back on board, because, it is called the Talking Dicks. It's plural. And look at that. I'm full screen. That means he's really off. Maybe he's taking on water. Maybe they've struck a barge or something, and he's in his cabin. Maybe he has his life jacket on right now. Maybe he's thinking, okay, this is it. I'm going to unleash the Kraken, and he will masturbate. and get rid of some of that pressure. I don't know, but I will pause this and we'll come right back. Al is back on the air. He had a little Wi-Fi issue, and apparently he wet his finger, his pinky.
Not little.
He put it up his butt, and he's back online. We both agreed that we're going to continue the Dustin Hoffman list on our next podcast. But right now, we're going to dive into a listener's question on
Questions. Yeah, it is amazing, though, that all those movies, we're not even halfway done with that list of Hoffman classic movies. Not one of those is like, I mean, those are classics and could continue on the next pod. But for now, we do have a question. Let's see. It says this one came through on Instagram. And the guy or the woman, their name is I Might Be Biased. That's the handle on Instagram. I Might Be Biased.
Okay. That's interesting.
All right. Yeah. It says football season is around the corner. Who do you two have in the SB Super Bowl? Wow.
I want to repeat.
Hasn't even played that.
I want to repeat. Tampa Bay.
Repeat that.
I want to repeat.
What are you trying to say? What are you saying?
Tom Brady.
Oh, you're going to repeat?
He should just retire because he's peaked. But can you imagine if he won another one? Oh my God.
Well, somebody asked him about this year, and he said, well, really what we want to do is he wants to go 21-0. So undefeated throughout and then win the Super Bowl 21-0 because there were 17 games this season. So they brought the whole team back. So my thing would be for I Might Be Biased. I think I'm with Alfred. I think it's going to be Tampa Bay and Kansas City. I don't see anyone beating Kansas City.
No.
And I don't see anyone beating the Bucks. Seriously, who's going to beat them? The Saints, the Falcons, and that division they run away with. And then, they have the whole team back, literally the entire team from last year. And as long as he stays healthy, that's the thing.
Right. That's staying healthy.
Brady's got to stay healthy. That's the whole thing. If he gets hurt.
Yeah. No tequila.
No avocado tequila till Super Bowl or till the boat parade.
Well, but I'm such a Brady fan. That's where I'm at. And even the people that were upset that he left the Patriots, they still underneath, they love their Tom
He owes
Brady.
you nothing. He owes you nothing.
They love their
Patriot
Tom Brady.
fans.
Be
happy.
Yes, that franchise,
7 rings or whatever it is. I mean,
that dynasty.
They suck.
They're trying to work out who they're going to have for their quarterback. It's, Cam would be a great backup. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think Cam's going to start the season, but it's that kid. I mean, let's be honest. Third week or so, he comes in. That's it. Yeah. Cam, So that always happens. They always start the old vet, and then by week 3 or so, they're like, okay, that's enough of that.
Bledsoe.
Put the kid in.
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe, yeah. Well, that was Bledsoe's team. Drew Bledsoe was
the franchise quarterback.
He was one of those big, great quarterbacks, and then he got hurt. And
what an arm.
It's kind of like a Wally Pipp. You know that story, right? Now, Wally Pipp.
I vaguely remember it. I think you should refresh my memory, and also for the listeners who have no idea who Wally Pipp is.
I think there are listeners who know who Wally. It's a famous story, but
I didn't
Wally
say everybody.
Pipp was the first baseman. He was the first baseman for the New York Yankees in the 1920s, and he got hurt. And a kid named Lou Gehrig came into play, and Mr. Pipp never played first base again. That was it. Lou never took a day off for the next 14 years
because he was the luckiest man on earth.
Yeah,
until he got his own disease. How do you get your own disease?
Well, when you're it's impressive. It's like Betty Ford, you got to be such a drunk they even name a rehab center after you. And that's
all these old jokes are coming out. All the old jokes are flying off the shelf. We're dusting them off. but it's spontaneous.
My
It's
cousin
spontaneous.
My cousin Mel sent me
My
that
cousin
one the other
Mel
day,
is
so I
where
figured I'd use it.
he lives down there in Cozumel.
Well, you should have fun putting this thing together with some
Oh,
editing
it's going to be a
skills and
joy.
some
My
duct tape and some
2
super
hours
glue
is now turned to 5 hours. It's going to be great. It's going to be great, especially when I mute you.
Oh, it was. I thought you were joking around in the very beginning because you were frozen. I thought it was a joke, and then I kept talking, and then I realized because it freezes on my end too. So if I'm frozen for you, you're frozen for me, and it's such a shit show. I mean, we got lucky. It's good. I'm in the Cozumel. You're at home. We have Wi-Fi. Great. It's nice. But
We've done almost 5
still,
months.
it's very aggravating.
And we've lucked out. A majority of them were pretty much, with a little bit of robot here and there. We've gotten through a lot of podcasts.
Yeah. We have actually, when you think of it, how many? Let's see,
like 40, almost 50
or so, more than that. God damn, that's a lot. We give a lot of content. We really do.
This is 144. This is. I know what you're thinking. Do I feel lucky? This here is 144 podcasts. By the way, Clint Eastwood directed and starred in another movie.
I know. It's getting crazy. He's 93.
He's 93 years old.
Hey, man, come on.
Poor
and
Charlie
I don't even
Watts.
want to see the movie. I feel like I got to watch it. I got to watch the movie because I'm like, it's going to suck. But then I go, he made a movie at 93 that he's in. Like, I can at least watch it.
It's kept him alive and healthy. Do you know he's
I
mostly a vegan now? He has like 1 or 2 beers a day when he's in the mood. No booze other than that. He likes a cold beer. Yeah. And mostly vegetables.
He always had a beer in his movies. Yeah. Always in his movies. Whenever he's in his apartment he's always cracking a beer. If you watch Eastwood movies.
And he was a runner, big time runner. I don't know how much running he's doing now, but I bet he's a better runner than Biden. My fellow American. Oh, my fallen American.
Oh, we're not going political here. What are we doing?
It's not political. No.
We always. You went off the rails.
All comedians talk about presidents no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're left or right.
The rails, sir.
I went off the rails. We got to wrap it up soon, buddy, because we're in hour 5.
All right. Was it so you're going? I think we're both saying the same thing. We're going Tampa Bay versus Kansas City for the Super Bowl, even though it's not even week 1 yet. So that's what we're going with.
I'm so happy that Jameson was traded to the Saints. So happy about that. Just don't like that dude. I know he's got talent. Just don't care for him. Don't like his off the field antics. Oh, guess what? Al's not that good of an actor. He's back into frozen mode. Well, that wraps it up for the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. So please, everybody, go to our Patreon page. Patreon.com/the2dicks. Show your support. You get prizes, gifts, and you get content that others cannot see. You get different videos. You get this video. And that's all I have to say. The begging has ended. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you next time.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/the2dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary.
Go to patreon.com/the2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.